Chief and Ralph here. I got a few new toys I wanted to talk about, as well as I wanted to talk about good places to find these things. I got beer shooting out of my mustache. So I got all kinds of new fun stuff, and I got new toys. I wanted to talk about them. Wanted to start with this one. Maybe this one. So this was cool. This was actually a flea market find, and we're going to find everything's a flea market find. That's the short answer, full stop. Flea markets is the answer, and where to find things. This was a great little mallet I found at a flea market for $5. I bought it just kind of because it looked like a cool mallet, and it ended up, I use it for a lot of paint cans. But it's a great mallet to have around, and you never know when you really need to whack something. Of course, I wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of sources to buy tools from, and I know Etsy's popular for a lot of them, and that's why I wanted to talk about this draw knife. So this draw knife came from a flea market. When you buy them online, a lot of times I find the first one I bought came from Etsy. They came from a blacksmith in Ukraine. I was very excited to support them, and it was on sale at a price that was less than a lot of other draw knives I've seen on Etsy. So I bought it, still sent me back, I want to say $60. So I'm supporting someone, I gave him $60, I got a nice draw knife. This one was $10 at a flea market. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. If you have a smith that makes tools, or you have someone you really like and you don't feel bad about supporting them, however, if you're on a budget like I am, or a lot of people, you want these tools, you're going to actually be using them, you want useful things, flea markets are going to be your best bet. Flea markets, farmers markets. This was kind of interesting because it sort of became my white whale for a while. I kept checking our local flea market. I wanted one of these, I knew it would be useful. Ours never had any of them. We got a lot of junk sellers there. Every Sunday where we are, there's a flea market at the regional market, and there was never a draw knife. There's a market out near the property that runs 2 times in the spring, 3 times in the fall, 3 different weekends. They have a bunch of these, and I'm not going to tell you where that is because I don't want you going and buying all the tools that I want to buy. I'm not going to tell you. It's my secret. Find your own. But that's it. I found that in rural areas, in rural towns, they'll either have an antique shop, a junk shop, a local flea market, junk stores. Go find rural junk stores. You can find all sorts of stuff. You can find $10 draw knives versus the $60 draw knives, which brings me into my next piece. This is an adze. It's an antique adze, long-handled adze. I got this. They wanted $30 for it. Now to them, they're selling an antique. They're like, that's a really old adze. $30 is a good price. I said, no, it's a broken tool. If you could see it, the handle's cracked, right? So to them, they're selling an antique. To me, they're selling a broken tool. I didn't want to give them $30, but I wanted it. They knocked $5 off. I said, fine, I'll give you $25 for the adze with the broken handle. I mean, it's not even I'm going to get one swing out of this. I can't use it until I grab a sapling, shave it down, get it to fit in there, and then I can use it. Went to look online after I bought it. These are going for about $60 with no handle. Just the head, antique, no maker's marks. No one knows how old they really are. Going for $60. So I got a hell of a deal on it. At the $30 would have been a good deal. To me, it's a broken tool. It wasn't worth the $30. In reality, online, they're going for $60. So flea markets are a good bet. Junk shops are a good bet. And especially if you're going to use them, right? If it's an older tool, it's stood the test of time, go buy an old one. You know it's going to work. The handles can be a little harder to fit. That's something a buddy of mine told me about because I noticed on some of them when I have to make a new handle, there's smaller openings. According to him, and I haven't independently verified this, but it sounds legit, it makes sense. According to him, because a lot of older tool handles are made out of older trees, they'd use, they'd be ash handles. And they'd use old growth ash or old growth oak. No, some of them are oak. You didn't need as thick a piece. Now they grow them just to use as handles. They're younger wood, different wood, different grains, so they have to make them bigger. You have to use more material to make them as sturdy as they used to be. I don't know if that's true. Sounds legit. I have a small hand one. Again, I bought from that same company in Ukraine. Forget how much it set me back. More than 60 bucks, I think. And I got some use out of the little one. I'm excited to use the big one after I make a new handle for it. This, I don't know. Can anyone guess what this is before I say? What is this thing? It's got a screw here that makes this opening open and close. Anyone know what this is? This is a stitching saddle. This is for doing leather work. You put your foot down here, you open it up a little bit, you put your piece in the top, and then you clamp it down. Not sure how much any of this you can see, and then you can stitch and work on your piece. I think this was $15, which again, most of these come from the same dealer or same place. They're priced ridiculously well. I don't know what this would normally go for at any other junk shop, but I got this for, I want to say, 15, 20 bucks, which is a great deal. You can sit down and use it. Again, the Tandy sells the smaller one for a good chunk of money. I'm very excited about this. It's such a simple design too. You look at it and go, I probably could have made that, but I can't even make it for 15 bucks. It's a block of wood, and it is at an angle, and these are just nailed in. It's not hinged, it's not something special, it's just nailed in there. It's exciting. So I look forward to using that. Those who know me know I'm not really good at making things out of leather, but I'm pretty good at repairing leather, so that'll still make that easier. Then the big one, the big new tool. This thing, so it's got an offset handle. You can see, see the spine on that's wide. And it's a big ass blade. It weighs a good, say, 15, 20 pounds. It's hard to gauge with the handle. I'd say a good almost 15 pounds. I don't know what that'd be in metric. I don't speak Canadian. But yeah. So I bought this thinking it was a big ass splitting froe. And that's still probably what I'm going to use it for, because with the big spine denotes to me it's something that you hit with something else, because you got a big spine, and to me it's a splitting spine. The blade, I doubt anyone can see that. I'm going to do it anyway. See, the blade's curved a little bit, which I say is probably from the usage of getting pounded on. I don't know if this thing was originally intended for that. I don't know if this is actually a mass-produced piece. It almost looks like a homemade, some farmer threw it together, someone with a welder actually made this. I don't know. If anyone knows what the hell this thing actually is, let me know. Let me know if I'm correct, if it's a splitting froe. Let me know your ideas, if I should or shouldn't actually use it as a splitting froe. I don't know. It's interesting as hell. I was cleaning it up and the handle actually came off. Yeah, is that fun, buddy? And it's got a unique piece in there that almost looks like it was a different tool at some point. I don't know. I think it's going to be a hell of a splitting froe. I don't know if it was used for cutting cabbages or what. And it's usually splitting froes have a straight blade. This is curved. I don't know, again, if they just welded a different blade onto a different piece and used it for that, or used it for something else. For all I know, 10 years ago, someone slapped this together as a prop for Halloween. You just never know with some of these antique tools. It's cool as hell. If anyone has a different idea of what it actually is, let me know. Throw it in the comments. When you're going to flea markets, farmers markets, swap meets, what do they call the trunk ones? People buy shit out of trunk. Boot sales, I think. Boot sales. I always like to look for stuff I'm actually going to use, and you could find all sorts of stuff. There's tools, I almost bought a frame saw, another frame saw just to have, and then to show off the difference between the collapsible one and another one. They always have shovels. All of them have spades and shovels. It's such a common tool that people leave behind and they grab and sell them. So if you ever need a spade or a shovel, it's $5-10 at any flea market or farmer's market swap meet. I've bought some other unique stuff. I like to only buy what I know I'm going to use or could potentially have a use for. I don't buy them to hang them on the wall. A lot of them price them that way. You got to be careful. Some of them will price them to be hung on the wall. I don't buy stuff that I really don't think I'll have a use for in case someone else might have a use for it. You know, if I go, that's really neat, I'll never use it, I'll leave it alone. That's just me. I don't know. Do what you want. Go buy them all out. My advice is don't buy them and sell them, mark them up 50% and sell them on Etsy, because then, you know, I can't buy them, so don't do that. But go find, I don't really have any good advice on where to find a good farmer's market other than rural junk shops. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, that's about all I got for today. If you need tools, if you want to work on the farm or work on the property, anything you got, farmers markets are a great resource. They're probably going to be your most economical bet, especially for some of these hard to find tools that no one really makes anymore, or they're not popular, so they cost you a lot. So that's all I got for today. Chieftain out.